Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. We can see that there is a lot of sideways movement at the moment again here. Bitcoin at around 38.15k with a change of pretty much 0% in the last 24 hours. And Cardano has, however, dropped, negative nearly 3%. And you can see that throughout the crypto market here, most cryptos have actually going down a little bit. There are some exceptions, including Waves here and Zcash, but most cryptos are going down. So let's take a look at Bitcoin, the more imminent chart, or maybe let's just zoom out. In my view here, still we are in this overall correction, you know that, in a wave 2. All of this here is a wave 2 consisting of an A, B, C corrective pattern. And where we currently are is really here a kind of a decision moment, because you can either, we've got two alternatives here that we talked about, two very clear alternatives with clear outcomes. With the first alternative, or the first possibility, and that is my primary expectation and remains my primary expectation, is that we come down straight away. So an immediate sell-off after we did not manage to break through 46k. That would mean that we are here in this last leg of the correction down, and that, this is going to play out and we come down below 29k in a very short period of time. The other possibility would be that Bitcoin goes up from here, to that resistance line, breaks the 46.5k, moves up higher, maybe all the way up, and that would be like the maximum level at 65k, and from here then would come down. So it's absolutely the same outcome. The only difference is that this second possibility would take significantly longer and is pretty much just an extension of the correction. Now, I don't really want the second possibility. I mean, it wouldn't hurt anybody, but it would just take much longer. It would just take much longer, and I would like to have this correction over. So anyway, we need to wait which alternative is going to play out. But let's take a look at the more imminent picture here on the chart. So overall, what we can see here in the chart, on the chart, is the possibility that Bitcoin has already completed its wave 4. We are already in the wave 5. It's holding very well above this ascending support line here. Yesterday it was broken. However, that was a bit of a fake out to the downside. But since that fake out, Bitcoin did not manage to push higher, which means that it was not really, sometimes a fake out is rather a bullish signal, but in this case, Bitcoin didn't really do much. It continued to move further down. As you can see here, a lower high, and we're now still consolidating above this ascending trend line. Overall, what we need to say, there could be two patterns forming here. So if I zoom out a little bit in the grand scheme of things here, what could happen here, and if we just take the sort of the larger picture, you could be forming here on the higher level something like an ascending wedge. You can see that here. You've got this ascending support line, resistance line, and you've got this ascending support line. So that could become an ascending wedge depending on how long Bitcoin will stay in this range here, okay? That could become an ascending wedge. Just saying it is possible. And if that is the case, then this would be rather a bearish pattern. And so maybe from the next move up, Bitcoin would find resistance here and then break to the downside. That is a possibility. The other possibility, however, is that this is a ascending triangle, and at the moment we can only speculate, but it doesn't really provide any benefit if you speculate here. So an ascending triangle would be a rather, you could call it a bullish pattern, where the likelihood would be more likely to break to the upside, okay? Because you've got the horizontal resistance line here, and Bitcoin already tried several times to break through this 45.5k resistance level. So this is like the higher level patterns that I'm looking at here. Which one will eventually form? I don't know, maybe even none of them, but it's important to have an understanding that these could be forming, But overall, more imminently, what we can see here is actually something like a head and shoulders that's forming here. And we talked about this head and shoulders that it could be forming. So this is at the moment playing out. As you can see here, when Bitcoin came down, we talked about that this could become a head and shoulders pattern. And I think at the moment this is becoming a head and shoulders pattern with a neckline here and a support level at 37.3k. So if that is breaking, then you can come down pretty much straight away, and possibly all the way up down to my my target area here at 29k, because if we just roughly take the height of that head and shoulders pattern here, the height of the head added to the potential breakout point, you can see that it takes you really close to that 29k level. Bear in mind, along the way there's the 34.5k support and 33k support, but to get there we first need to break this support level. That's a very important one. Head and shoulders is already playing out, so we had a high here, a higher high and a lower high, which is not very bullish that you have a lower high, therefore a rather bearish pattern, that head and shoulders pattern. And you can see here that the 50-day moving average that is coming down here is holding the price down as well. So I'm watching that very closely. You're at the moment at a very important support level here, and at the moment we can just wait until that level gets broken, and we don't really know if it gets broken until it gets broken, so therefore we sometimes just have to wait. Overall the direction here was clear, further downside, but now it has consolidated above this support line. We just need to wait for the break. In addition to that, what could be forming here, if we go down one step to that 34.5k level, is this M pattern that we talked about as well, which is another pattern which could break to the downside and then also take us into the target area. That would have a neckline here at around 34.5k. So I've got patterns over patterns here, and in my view the possibility is there that we're already in this wave 5 down, where we could have just formed the wave 1, 2, and this could already be the wave 3 down, but again, that is only speculation. We don't really know until one of these levels gets broken here. Yeah. So overall, and we said that a few times, this wave 4 in which we are currently are, or maybe we've completed it already, but it is a very boring wave pattern. Yeah, it is corrective, it is up and down, it's choppy. I mean, there is volatility in the market here, you can see it, but it still is very boring without a clear direction. So it is something we need to understand. That's just part of the game, yeah, and sometimes we just have to have a little bit of patience. Cardano, however, breaking down and moving down as expected. We hit the next target level after we broke here this head and shoulders pattern as well. We talked about it, that head and shoulders pattern on the Cardano chart, and a retest which was successful. So after that it was rejected further down, and we talked about the next support at which was that this was the next support at the support here of the descending wedge, and that was reached as well, here at 76-77 cents. And we're currently, we did recover after that a little bit because Cardano was a little bit oversold, and now it is ready to go down further. Here you can see that red candles. I think it's consolidating just because Bitcoin isn't moving at all at the moment, and it is sort of moving with Bitcoin. But what we've seen again, that Bitcoin is currently outperforming Cardano. Yeah, so next target for me for Cardano would be that previous low here at 75 cents. I don't think the downtrend is over yet. We are in a clear downtrend, and we have to assume we are in a clear downtrend until we see here a series of higher highs, higher lows, until you see a clear buy signal on the indicators. But whatever indicator I look at here, even on the daily, it doesn't look bullish. Yeah, for example, here we've got a bearish crossover again on the MACD on the daily, just to give you an example, and all of that could act as further sell signals here that will take us further down into the target area here between 30 and 55 cents. Let's take a look actually at the ADABTC chart. We haven't done that for a while, but I think it will be a bit messy because Cardano is going down further and further, as you can see here. This is actually quite interesting because we had a lot of support here in this area back then. Yeah, and since then Cardano has dropped further and further and further, and we're now at this support level that we had on the chart already. From here, where there was a lot of support back in around around April, March 21. We're nearly there now, but there is no sign at the moment of a declining downtrend. Overall, we had on the chart here, bullish divergences and everything, but this didn't really play out. And at the moment, Cardano is again oversold compared to Bitcoin. And really, at some point, there should be the change, and Cardano should start to outperform Bitcoin. However, it has not started yet. And again, it just needs a bit more patience, I guess. All right, that's my view here on Bitcoin and Cardano. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.